On Friday, the High Court ruled in favour of the Mayor of London after 5 Conservative-led councils had challenged his proposals to expand the ultra-low emission zone to Greater London. Vehicles that are classed as more polluting will be charged £12.50 a day to drive in these areas. The reason? TfL say it'll reduce the number of deaths caused by polluted air. But those opposed to the plan say there isn't enough evidence to show the expansion will make a difference to air quality, and they're concerned that it'll impact the poorest in society.
I'm going to continue to put pressure on the Mayor not to go ahead with this. This is going to have savagely bad consequences for thousands of my constituents. And not just my constituents, of course, because it will impact on people who live outside Greater London, people that have no say over who is the Mayor of London and what policies he pursues, because they don't have a vote in the London mayoral election. So the estimate that Sadiq Khan makes of 9 in 10 cars being compliant, there's already been some question marks over that. But of course, he's not counting people that need to come in to Greater London on a daily basis from outside who will be hit by this.
Hertfordshire is one of the counties which will border a ULEZ area. Some local businesses say although they're not directly in the ULEZ zone, the new expansion will affect them. A plumber's merchant in Potters Bar say tradespeople will be hit.
The way things are, there's people that can't afford to do certain things now, and obviously there's a lot of guys that their van is their tool, so they can't afford to change their vehicle, so they've got no choice but to pay their congestion, their ULEZ fee.
Those working in a carpet shop say this new expansion could see people leave the profession.
Most of the guys, self-employed carpet fitters, have got vans that aren't compliant. So a transit van nowadays that's compliant, we're going to be looking at about £40,000. I think it could put a few of them to the point where they're near retirement now, and the thought of having to buy new vehicles or pay £12.50 a day will put them off, and they'll probably have to give it in.
The decision to expand the ultra-low emission zone was a difficult one, not one I took lightly. But it's the right one because it's vital we make more progress cleaning up the air in our city. It's a fact that air pollution in our city leads to around 4,000 premature deaths a year, leads to children having stunted lungs forever, and adults with a whole host of health issues from asthma to cancer, dementia to heart disease.
Well, as a driver myself, I have a hybrid, so I'm assuming it doesn't affect me. But for other drivers or to-be drivers, it's going to have a lot of restrictions for them, because essentially it's going to be difficult for them financially to justify driving to London.
The people who have the least money are the most affected, and if that's what Khan represents and he's trying to say, I'm helping everybody, he isn't. He's penalising people.
And as a consequence of me listening, next week we'll be massively expanding the support Londoners receive. Every family in London, that's almost 1 million families who receive child benefit, will be eligible for support from next week. Every small business in London will be eligible for support from next week, and every charity in London.
Get Khan out! Get Khan out!
Despite huge opposition, the expansion of ULEZ is set to take place on the 29th of August. Lisa Hartle, GB News, London.